All right, everyone. So Bret Hart responded to recent comments that Hulk Hogan made about him. Here's what he said. I heard something a few months ago where Hulk Hogan was talking about me. He said, the problem with Bret Hart is he really does think he was the greatest wrestler of all time. I remember thinking and going, yeah, maybe. That might be the most truthful thing he's ever said. So there's a lot of talk about Hulk Hogan lately from a lot of different places. And I brought up, The Undertaker, because to me, the Undertaker's comments are the ones that matter the most to me, because I think Undertaker's a guy that really calls balls and strikes with a lot of different things. He's someone that always put, the company first. So when he has some things to say about you, I take, I take a lot of stock in that. Someone like Bret Hart, he's had his run-ins with a lot of different people, it seems like in the business, right? Including Vince himself. Maybe you don't put quite as much stock in, meaning, and I don't mean that look, Bret Hart's great, one of the greatest of all time, but you understand that he's had these battles with a lot more people, and you kind of see it in this, right? Where Hogan says, "Well, Bret Hart thinks he's the best ever," and Bret goes, "Well, yeah, I might be," you know. But it's just interesting to me how I just think this whole Hulk Hogan situation, as it pertains to his relationship with a lot of the wrestlers, his relationship with WWE, his relationship with the WWE Universe. It seems like everything is kind of coming, to a head here, and not in a good way. I just don't know what they were thinking. They make this deal with Hogan's new beer, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's something that WWE would do 100 times over. They're doing it with Prime. They make these type of sponsorships or these, agreements. But then Hulk Hogan returns and it's about that. It felt gross. It just felt gross. He returns and it's a return for him to sell a beer. Unlike, you see the Undertaker return or Stone Cold return or any of the greats that have returned, and they're part of the show, instead of promoting some product or something like that. Which you can still have the guy come out with that shirt on, and then rip it and it will be on TV. There's nothing wrong with that, or him, or have an advertisement throughout the show, but I just don't get why they did it that way. And it's a lot of him, having done it to himself, it appears. And, I don't know all the details of everything about the backstage stuff that people have had problems with. But if I was Hogan, man, I would seemingly, there's going to have to be a lot of apologies for a lot of things. And there just doesn't seem to have had that. Despite all these years having passed, it seems like the same people feel the same way all the way around. And the WWE Universe, I think that they've clearly, from what we've seen, they've clearly made their feelings felt on when he returns and he's just selling a product. Maybe they would cheer if he was actually part of the story, but so far, I don't see a path for him returning anytime soon. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.